Deep in the heart of the Sundarvan Jungle lived a bear named Bruno. Now, Bruno was known for two things: his enormous appetite and his even bigger laziness. If there were two paths in the jungle, one long and easy, the other short and difficult, Bruno would choose a third one, not walking at all. He loved sleeping under the shade, scratching his belly, and dreaming of food that magically walked right into his paws. Every single morning, the other animals got busy with their routines. Deer went grazing, squirrels gathered nuts, bees collected nectar. Even the slow turtles worked all day. But Bruno, he'd just yawn, stretch, and say the same thing every morning. Why work when you can sleep? One hot afternoon, Bruno's stomach growled louder than a thunderstorm. He sniffed the air and caught the sweetest smell imaginable, something thick, warm, and absolutely honey, his favorite food. The smell led him to a tall old tree where dozens of bees buzzed around a golden hive. Inside, the honey glowed like liquid sunlight. He watched the bees working tirelessly, flying back and forth, collecting nectar, building the hive, storing their food. They didn't rest, they didn't complain, and they certainly didn't waste time. Bruno just chuckled. Why do they work so hard? They're tiny. They should enjoy life like me. Then he called out confidently, "Hey bees, give me some honey." The bees paused mid-flight. Their leader, Bija, flew forward. "Bruno, this honey is not free. If you want it, help us collect nectar from the flowers." Bruno's face dropped. "Work," he said, as if it were a forbidden word. "No, no, no. I want honey without working." The bees politely refused. "Then you must wait until we have extras." But Bruno didn't want to wait. He didn't want to work. He wanted honey now. So Bruno hatched a plan. He decided he would sneak in at night and take the honey while the bees were sleeping. When the moon rose and silence covered the jungle, Bruno tiptoed well, as much as a 500-pound bear can tiptoe toward the hive. He climbed the tree. He reached for the hive. He whispered triumphantly, "Mine." But the moment his paw touched it, buzzz, the bees had been awake, guarding their hive all along. They flew out like an army of tiny warriors. Bruno screamed, stumbled, and fell out of the tree like a giant sack of potatoes. He ran in circles as the bees chased him, finally jumping into a pond with a splash big enough to scare all the fish. When he surfaced, Bija glided over the water and spoke calmly. "We tried to warn you. If you want sweetness in life, you must earn it." Bruno, shivering and embarrassed, stayed silent. The very next morning, the bees heard something strange. Knock, knock, knock. It was Bruno, but this time he wasn't shouting. His head was low, and his voice was soft. I want to learn," he said. "I'm tired of being hungry and lazy. Please teach me how to work." The bees looked at each other in surprise, then welcomed him. Bruno's training began. For the first time in his life, he walked more than 2 minutes without resting. He carried flowers. He helped protect the hive. He even learned how to be gentle, something completely new for him. At first, he complained every 5 minutes. His paws hurt, his back hurt, even his laziness hurt. But slowly, something changed. He felt stronger. He felt productive. And most importantly, he felt proud. By the end of the week, the bees rewarded him. Bija handed him a small pot of honey sweet, warm and shining. "This," she said, "is honey you earned, not stolen, not begged for, earned." Bruno tasted it and realized it was sweeter than any honey he'd ever had before. Maybe the honey didn't change. Maybe he did. Bruno became a different bear. Not perfect, not hard-working every second, but better. He stopped expecting everything for free. He stopped wasting his days. And whenever he felt that old laziness creeping in, he remembered the stings, the pond, and the bees' wisdom. If you want sweetness, you must earn it. And so, the jungle slowly stopped calling him Lazy Bruno. They began calling him Bruno, the bee bear, a bear who finally understood the true value of effort. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more lessons from the wild. See you next time.